Hi, welcome to the next lesson. So now I assume that you have, we have covered and you have done all the exercise with framing and also with different light and lighting conditions. Practical advice: what happens if the light conditions are not so good for the photo? Make them good. Move, if you're taking pictures of photos, ask them to turn around towards the light. So if windows are there, I wouldn't ask people to stand there, and if I didn't have a choice, then I would use flash to compensate for the light coming from the window, and it would have to be probably strong flash depending on the light from outside. So normally I would ask people to stand actually with the faces towards the window to have the best light, and that's what you need to do. As a photographer, you are the director. You need to tell people what to do. If it's not people, if these are objects, well, use flash, or if the object is quite far, it might be difficult. Find other ways of directing light onto it, or wait for the change of the sun, so come at a different time of the day, or just don't take a photo at all, or just take photo irrespectively and see what happens. So it's up to you. You're the manager, you're the director, you decide what to do. Okay, so in this lesson, let's go to the next aspect of photography. Zoom. So it doesn't matter whether you have a DSLR camera or a compact camera. These are all, principles. The main principles of taking photos are the same. I'll be using my DSLR camera, but if you have a compact camera, it's still fine. Difference is in zoom that in compact cameras usually you have electronic zoom, so electronically controlled zoom at the back of the camera, so you press the buttons, while with those cameras zoom is in the lens, so you just turn the barrel of the lens. The experiment I want you to conduct is take two objects and put them one after the other, maybe the distance of 0.5 meter or 1 meter, it's up to you, and then take photo of the one in the front with the one at the back behind it still visible. And so let's say you've decided to put them 1 meter after another, so stand 1 meter in front of the first object and use the widest zoom possible, so as much as you can see, and take a photo. Focus on the first one in the middle, in front of you, and make sure that you can see both of those objects. Take the photo. Now step back as much as you can, maybe 5 meters, and then zoom in more or less 5 times. If you have a camera like this, you can zoom even more or a little bit less, doesn't really matter. With compact camera, just zoom as far as you can. You decide. If you might have a compact camera with zoom of 10, 15 or something like this. Don't go to the end, maybe, or take a few photos, one at the end setting. I'm talking about zoom. So at the end, one maybe in the middle, and see what difference it makes. Now, when you step back and zoom in, what you can do, you can zoom in so it looks more or less in the camera of the same size as if you were actually close to it with your zoom actually at wide angle. So that's how you more or less will know that that's what I want you to do. Is that clear? Yeah, so once again, you go to the object 1 meter away, take a photo, you remember what size it had in your camera, you go back maybe 5 meters away, and you zoom in so that it has on the screen more or less the same size it had before as you were standing close to it. Now what will happen, the difference between those two objects, so the one the main object and the one behind it, it will decrease. Of course, that's an illusion, because you step back and you zoom in. So now, before it was 1 meter, 1 meter, 1 meter where you were standing, and now you will be 5 meters. By you zooming in, so this distance will seem to be 5 times smaller in the picture. That's what I want you to do, because the zoom changes, not also bring us closer to the object, but also changes the perspective, the distance, the perceived distance in the objects. Obviously the distance doesn't change, but the perceived distance changes between the objects. So that's what I want you to do. Take some photos with various zoom settings, and see what difference it makes, whether you zoom in or zoom out, and when you come closer and come further. take, I don't know, 5 minutes for this one. It doesn't take a lot of practice to master the effects of the zoom, so 5 minutes should be enough. Again, transfer all the photos to your computer and compare the results on the computer screen. See you in the next lesson.